The crazy thing about addiction is like the delusion of it all. And it's an extremely progressive thing. And that's what makes it so difficult for the addict to see sometimes. I think there's this common misconception, when you see someone shooting up or drinking in the most extreme ways, is that whether it's conscious or unconscious, we ask ourselves, like, how could you do that? Like, why would you do that? And it's like almost predicated on this notion of like, one day you just wake up and start doing that. You start living like that. You throw your whole life away in a day. And that's not true, It's a very progressive thing. It starts by experimentation. It starts every now and then. Then it becomes, okay, like every weekend. Okay, every day after work. There's constantly a line, right, of what I won't go that far, I won't do that. But eventually it's not enough, so you gotta push that line back a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more. So by the time that it becomes an observable problem from the outside or to people around you, first of all, that's just what you see. There's way more that you don't see, right? But at that point, it's been going on for years. Again, where it's a progression, it feeds into the delusion of the mind of the addict. I always say, like, usually the alcoholic or the addict is the last person on the planet to know that they have a problem.
I think that I forgot that art is something that I did, for enjoyment, for fun. It was something that I did to relax. So when I first started smoking, I heard that it wasn't addictive. I heard only, positive side effects. Oh, you're gonna be really happy for like 45 minutes. Okay, that sounds great. So I would get home from school, and then as soon as I got home, I would smoke. And I would smoke until probably 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. When I was high, I couldn't really function normally, and it would make my anxiety so much worse. But then, I kind of stopped going out. I stopped hanging out with my friends, and I would just sit in my room, alone. I stopped drawing for the most part. I think my awakening was when the SEED program actually came to my school in the second time in my senior year, so this year. And they had put up a presentation about some of the side effects, and I noticed that almost every single one of those side effects I had, and how it was really kind of tanking me emotionally. I was just filled with anger all the time. I was so frustrated with how my life was turning out. 2 or 3 weeks after I had actually quit, I noticed a lot of that brain fog, a lot of that slowness, a lot of that anxiety I got from interacting with people had started to dissipate. People that are using it to cope. I know you don't want to hear it, but just quitting for, putting it down for a month, seeing how you're doing, without it, it can be really big. Because I noticed, almost immediately how much better I felt and how much my self-worth, it just kind of skyrocketed.
I started smoking weed every day, and how early I was doing it in the day started creeping earlier and earlier and earlier, and then I was drinking as much as I possibly could. I tried to replace the drinking sometimes with smoking weed, but something had like flipped in my brain. I don't know what, but I just wasn't processing it the same. And whenever I'd smoke it, I'd become completely psychotic. Sometimes like losing touch with reality, and I had some of the most scary experiences I've ever had, ever, because I was just like hallucinating faceless people, hearing whispers, becoming really convinced of bizarre things were happening. I had heard about how high potency marijuana could cause psychotic symptoms. It just had never really done it to me before.
You're a kid and you don't exactly want to hear that your mom's a drug addict. I know she did a lot of pretty much anything. She used a lot of different stuff. I was 9 years old when I started finding out about her addiction. Before that, I knew something was going on, but I didn't know anything about drugs at first, so I learned when I was 9. In a way, I knew it was coming, that my mom was gonna die, but at the same time, like, even if you expect it, it doesn't make it any easier to go through.
So in 2016, I was sentenced to 10 to 20 years. During that time, Izzy's mom passed away from an overdose. So at that point, there was nothing I could do to help her.
I was also in an angry stage because my mom made a ton of promises to me when I was younger, like, you can come live with me again, we'll be fine, we'll be this big happy family. And I didn't know where to put my anger at her, so it kind of just balled up, and I was really upset about it because, you know, a kid doesn't really realize what addiction is at first, so it was more of she just left me. It's hard to go through, and it is extremely hard to sit there and watch someone you love die and not be able to do anything about it. I had a really hard time after she died. I got really depressed when she died, and I didn't really want to be here at all. There's a lot of people who struggle with suicide, but I think, again, it's like where they stay quiet about it. They need help and they don't know how to ask for it or how to receive it, so they just numb themselves instead. If you're struggling, it's okay to get help. Like, it's not something that you have to be ashamed of or hide from, because there's way more people that struggle with this than you would think, because people are so scared to ask for help. So there's nothing to be ashamed of when you need help. You just have to take that step to ask for it.
No way! When I heard the news, there was something that, I guess, snapped inside of me. I knew that it was time for a change, and I knew that things were going to be different. So I started diving into AA stuff. I started going to meetings. I started doing that type of stuff. When it came time for me to come home, I decided that instead of going home, I was going to go to sober living, because I felt like I needed to find recovery outside of prison, I guess. So I felt like I needed to be part of a community immediately. My main goal was to obviously rekindle my relationship with my daughter.
My dad taught me that you don't have to be who everyone thinks that you're going to be. Like, you can be told your entire life that you're going to do nothing, you're good at nothing but being locked up, and then you can come out and you can change everything. Like, you don't have to live by the standards that people put on you. You don't have to fit in that box that people put you in. You can change everything and beat every odd, and then look at people and be like, see, I did it, even though you thought I couldn't. If you would have told me when I was that 11-year-old little girl that just lost her mom that I was going to be going to schools and talking to thousands of people, I would have told you that you were crazy, because I was not going to do that. And now here we are. I'm 19 years old, or almost 19 years old, and I go to schools all the time and talk to tons of people.
Oh, it's completely changed you, 100%. She took the negative and turned it into a positive.
CETA has been really important in my life because it's helped me be able to honor my mom in a way that I couldn't do just on my own. Because every time I go somewhere and I talk about her, it's keeping her alive while helping other people, which is exactly what she would have wanted.
I need to find some point to remind myself that what is inside me and what I have to offer is no result of the way that my father has chosen his life to be. Because we don't have the choice of are the parents we're born into or the lives we're born into. This is not the life that you have to live. You are capable of doing such beautiful and amazing things, and it's never your fault. And I just wish everyone could know that it's not their fault. You do not have to be the result of what you've brought into, of what you've grown up, and you are not your mom, you are not your dad, you're not your sister, you're you, and you have the opportunity and you are fully capable of doing whatever you want to do. And I think that's really important.
Pull one South Palm 1083, Preble by Willard. How we doing?
Good, you?
Drove a little fast out of that lot, don't you think?
I know.
What's going on?
A little scared.
Why?
That's all. I don't know.
All right, turn around.
Yep.
You're going to be under arrest for OUI.
The alcohol was a major problem, but the pot was even more of a problem. A bunch of my buddies had older siblings, and we would go down to like their dog parties, or we would just find our way there. And I would just see all the stuff going around, like the drinks and the bongs and the blunts, and it would end up in my hand somehow. They were just like, do you guys want to try? And I'm like, yeah, like the older kids are offering, why not? I thought it was safe because I'm watching everyone else use it, so I figured there was nothing wrong with it. It led to me wanting to not live anymore and me needing it every day to just wake up and get out of bed. I had lost 35 pounds and my mom's just watching me get thinner and thinner and thinner, and she's trying to feed me and get me to eat, but I just won't eat because I have to be high. So a friend of mine took her own life a little while back, and after I told my mom that I've been attempting too, and all of that, my mom had her come over when I said, no, don't tell her. She came over, and the one thing she said to me was, if I could have done anything to save my baby girl and get her the help she needed, I would have done anything, but now I get to see her sit on my mantle. And I just lost it after that. I looked at my mom and I'm like, what am I doing to my mom? Like, my mom's taking photos of me in cop cars trying to teach me lessons, and I'm showing up late at night and crashing my car and just doing all this stuff, and it just wasn't worth doing that to her. So I thought about both of them and I chose to go away.
Kind of that moment.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was realization.
What's up, brother? What's your name?
Jay Orser.
What are you doing today, Jay?
We're about to jump out of a plane.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Hell yeah.
What's the occasion?
I'm 2 years sober.
Hell yeah, brother. Congratulations. That is fantastic.
Over the last 8 months, we have spoken to several thousand students and adults about high-potency THC, alcoholism, and addiction, and we think it's making a difference. Because, I mean, I've had kids come up to me and talk to me and be like, hey, like, I've been a year. And I'm like, you keep going. Like, don't you feel so much better? You're a year sober. Like, how do you feel? And they always say, I feel great. It's inspiring. Kind of keeps me going with, I want to keep pushing forward and what I'm doing, staying clean, staying sober.